July 2022, Ohio. 19-year-old Mackenzie Sharilla sat behind the wheel of her Toyota Camry in a quiet residential zone. Without warning, in a 25 miles per hour area, she floored the accelerator, pushing the car to a lethal 100 miles per hour before slamming headfirst into a brick wall. This was no accident. It was a calculated execution. While Mackenzie miraculously survived, her boyfriend, Dominic, and their friend, Davion, were killed instantly. The case, and Mackenzie's cold indifference, sent shockwaves across America. But the true chill didn't come from the sentencing. It came from a haunting detail captured at the scene of the crime.
I did. Don't do it much. Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you. You okay?
As the officer placed Mackenzie into the back of the patrol car, leaning in to fasten her seatbelt, the body cam captured something that defies explanation. In that heavy, death-shadowed silence, a voice that belonged to no one present whispered directly into the microphone. "She killed us." Or, as some hear it, "You killed us." The voice is raspy, hollow, and laced with an unmistakable sense of lingering resentment. Perhaps most unsettling is the officer's reaction. He freezes, pauses his movements, and looks down at Mackenzie to ask, "What did you say?" But Mackenzie's lips never moved. Online sleuths and paranormal enthusiasts are convinced this is a classic case of an electronic voice phenomenon. They believe Davion and Dominic were determined to name their killer, even from beyond the veil. Some audio analysts point out that the frequency of the whisper is entirely inconsistent with human breathing. They highlight how the "us" is unnervingly elongated, a low, drawn-out moan that sounds like a cry from another dimension. Picture this. It's a peaceful night, and you're just about to drift off to sleep when your phone suddenly buzzes with a security alert, "Person detected," at your front door. Naturally, you assume it's a local car thief scouting out the neighborhood. Heart pounding, you open the playback. On screen, your two cars sit quietly in the dimly lit driveway. The first few seconds are completely normal, but then a translucent, grayish-white shadow abruptly materializes near the front bumper. Instead of walking by like a normal human, it moves with an incredibly eerie, glitch-like rhythm, flashing across the frame before vanishing into the darkness. When the original poster uploaded this footage, they were desperately seeking peace of mind, asking the community, "This is probably just a bug, right?" But the moment the video went live, sharp-eyed netizens completely lost it. The consensus was immediate. There is no way that's a normal bug. One user, Sweaty Chancho, took a closer look and gasped. "At first, I wanted to say a spider web, but now I can clearly see him wearing a gray hoodie and pants, tiptoeing, and then taking a sidestep." On the other hand, a voice of reason, suitable_cap3913, remained skeptical, stating, "It's just a strand of spider silk or a tiny bug right in front of the lens." Now, the truth is shrouded in mystery. If it's a bug, it somehow triggered a highly specific human detection alert. But if it's a person, why does it look completely translucent as it disappears? What do you guys think? Is this just a glitchy little bug making the security system lose its mind, or is it a phantom car thief wandering the dead of night? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Out of nowhere one day, a Reddit user named Ninamanina decided to follow an impulse. She reached out to a psychic medium, hoping for a chance to talk to her deceased loved ones. However, on the very night she made the call, well before the actual session even began, a series of eerie events abruptly erupted. First, a deafening crash echoed from the completely empty garage at 10 p.m. Terrified, she immediately checked her Ring camera playback, only to witness massive, glowing orbs chillingly dancing and floating through the air. A user named Immamarius issued a grim warning. You've clearly opened a door you shouldn't have. Consulting a medium can sometimes attract unwanted entities. I highly suggest getting a priest to bless your house right away and stop interacting with it. The more attention you give it, the stronger it gets. Another user, Legal Manufacturer 100, pointed out that in certain spiritual beliefs, this act alone is considered a strict taboo. The original poster is now consumed by intense anxiety, torn over whether she should go through with her psychic appointment. If you were in her shoes, would you advise her to finish the session or slam that door shut as fast as possible?
This is haunted time. That's right. You have intercepted the hidden signal. More secrets are about to be unveiled. Do not miss the next episode. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell right now. Otherwise, the signal will disappear forever. I repeat, subscribe now.
Our story takes place on a seemingly mundane night in 2019. The original poster, Dirty_Dan209, was working a late shift at a convenience store, passing the time with the same mundane closing chores he did every day. The store was brightly lit, wrapped in a comforting sense of normalcy. But right as he looked down to handle the paperwork, a glimpse of movement on the CCTV monitor caught his attention. There, in an aisle that should have been entirely vacant, a massive, translucent black shadow glided past the camera with a profoundly unnatural motion. The internet has since exploded into heated debates over what this shadow could possibly be. Meanwhile, the poster's initial terror has gradually given way to logic and reason. Still, during those quiet, late-night shifts, his eyes are always drawn back to that dark corner. That leaves us with one question. If you caught a glimpse of this behemoth gliding across your security monitor in the dead of night, would you try to rationalize it as a stray bug, or would you drop your paperwork and bolt out the door? Let's talk in the comments. I want to see if anyone can offer a more compelling scientific explanation, or better yet, share a chilling encounter of your own. Recently, a TikTok user named Poorjustrian shared a security clip that made him want to pack his bags and move out overnight. Right at the start of the video, he gave a stern warning. This isn't an edit. This is actual, terrifying footage captured by my Ring camera. In the video, a violent crashing sound suddenly echoes from above the quiet storage room, followed by a bone-chilling, blood-curdling shriek piercing through the dead of night. The video instantly went viral, leaving countless paranormal enthusiasts convinced that this is a textbook poltergeist. One viewer kept it completely real, commenting, "Bro, forget the priest. Call exterminators. That sounds like a badger or a mountain lion trying to have babies in your ceiling." Then there's the combat faction. Another user suggested taking a page out of the Texas playbook. Tape a flashlight to a Remington shotgun and go take a look. Ghost or monster, one blast, and it's the one moving out. Now, the ball is in your court. Do you think this sound came from an unknown entity or just a lost, massive wild animal? If your ceiling started making noises like this in the middle of the night, would you call the cops, find a priest, or just put the house on the market immediately? Deep in Staffordshire, England, sits an ancient pub known as the Four Crosses Inn. Infamous for its paranormal activity since the 17th century, it's widely considered one of the most haunted places in the UK. Recently, a tourist caught a fleeting moment on video during a visit. At first, everyone thought it was just regular footage of the tour. But after the video was uploaded to the r/ghost videos community, a sharp-eyed user going through the clip frame by frame suddenly gasped. Right in the blind spot of the cellar entrance, something deeply unsettling appeared. As the camera pans past the dark, shadowy stairs of the cellar, a pitch-black, completely solid, humanoid shadow quickly darts into the depths of the basement. The most chilling part? The original poster, prestigious_part 4455, made it absolutely clear there was zero living soul in that cellar at the time. Even the person filming didn't notice it in the moment. It wasn't until they reviewed the footage that they realized that thing had slipped into the pitch-black space right in front of the lens. That leaves us with one question. Do you think this is a guest who never checked out, or is it something science just can't explain? Have you ever had that feeling? Like you're completely alone, yet you can swear someone is staring right at you. Late one night, Reddit user WH4T_Amy_S4ID and a friend were out for a walk and decided to record a quick video just to capture the moment. At the time, they didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. It wasn't until they got home and reviewed the footage that a pitch-black figure made their blood run cold. Is it a real person or some kind of unexplained energy?
Or the sub for you is going to be more. Everything's going up, but our wages aren't going up. Because I'm still seeing wages that are fucking pitiful on Indeed. Oh yay, I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? Looks like there was a fucking figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
A dark, humanoid silhouette suddenly appears behind the fence and moves rapidly to the left. Some claim it's just the shadow of the person walking with them. But if you look closely, this shadow's trajectory is completely different from the companions, and its coloration is unnaturally deep. But the most unsettling part is how it vanishes. This shadow literally disappears into thin air. Now, look at the cameraman's shadow. It only fades as the headlights from passing cars shift. This is beyond creepy. What's your take on this? Let's talk in the comments. The Seine in Paris is famous for its romance. But during that extreme heat wave back in 2023, something that absolutely shouldn't be there seemed to surface from its depths. A tourist taking a stroll along the riverbank captured this 13-second footage that sent the internet into a frenzy. Locals are already calling it the Seine River Monster. Some are even wondering, has global climate change awakened an ancient creature sleeping at the bottom of the river? Take a close look at the texture of this object. It has a bizarre, pale pink hue. Netizens pointed out that it actually shows folds and wrinkles similar to animal skin, and the head even appears to be subtly shifting its direction. Some locals have even weighed in, arguing that given the scale and water quality of the Seine, it's highly unlikely for a regular bird to produce this kind of visual effect. Do you think this is a deep-sea freak of nature driven to the surface by the heat wave? Or just an embarrassing balloon mishap? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe in unseen neighbors? Reddit user at Farmers Rick recently shared a security footage that's been keeping him up at night. In the dead of snowy night, his backyard camera captured something deeply unsettling. Notice these translucent, floating figures? They almost look like they're dancing. But let's stay grounded here. The internet offered a highly plausible explanation. It's most likely melting snow right on the camera lens. When a security camera's infrared night vision hits tiny objects up close, it creates this extreme glare. Even a tiny drop of snow water hanging off a spider web gets blown up on camera, looking like some kind of paranormal entity. Now, even though the internet skeptics have written this off as pure physics, the original poster isn't fully convinced. He's actually inviting people over to his place for a real-life ghost hunt. So what do you think? A trick of nature or an unexplained energy? Let me know in the comments. It happened in a secluded clinic. A night shift doctor was holding the fort alone. In the early hours of the morning, the entire place was dead silent, like a cemetery. Suddenly, odd sounds drifted in from the parking lot. Prompted by curiosity, the doctor followed the noise. The corridor was deserted, and his car sat outside, seemingly untouched. He was about to head back inside, but then he glanced into the vehicle. Instantly, the hairs on the back of his neck stood on end.
Micro hospital, we heard a bang, and we turned around because we said, well, who is coming in? The thing is that there's no one behind us, and we looked inside the car, and we said, you see the car. Holy shit, huh? The worst part of all is that we don't want to go out not fear fucking hell. The worst part of all is that it moves inside the car and there's no one. Now we are going to go check the car, but it seems as if it were a reflection. Fucking hell, no, we're coming out quickly now so you can see it's not a lie, man. Goosebumps, brother, goosebumps, scared shitless. There is no one momentum. It's a lot. Shit, and on top of that, it's looking at us, you son of a bitch. Chayo, my separation.
Some claim it's merely a reflection, but frankly, I don't believe it. There was definitely something inside that car. Now, though, this gentleman no longer has the courage to go back and investigate. If it were you, would you dare open that car door and check the seat right now? Just another ordinary morning in the California Bay Area when a local out for a walk almost stepped on a little guy. At first, he thought it was just a tiny camouflage snake and was about to walk around it. But what happened next left him completely spellbound. This snake suddenly sprouted 4 legs and started busting out some seriously goofy moves across the concrete. What on earth is this creature? And what is it doing on a bone-dry pavement, miles away from any water source? Take a close look at its body. It's as slender as a thread, with limbs so tiny they're almost invisible. TikTok user Kemenomino cracked the code. This isn't a lizard, but an amphibian known as Batrachoceps attenuatus, or the California slender salamander. These salamanders are incredibly unique. They have no lungs and breathe entirely through their skin. Another user, Endless Soaks, pointed out that in the video, its tiny feet seem to be getting stuck to the dry concrete, which is a major red flag for an amphibian that needs to stay moist. Thankfully, the creator later guided it safely back to some damp soil. Nature never fails to surprise us. If you ever spot one on the sidewalk, remember to give this funky dancer a little hydrating hand. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, stay safe.